Welcome to Whispers of the Web, where the hidden gems of the web come to life. Join us as we unravel the most fascinating tales, secrets, and discussions from across the web. Every whisper has a story. If you enjoy our journey through the whispers of the web, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the intrigue. Story number 1. My sister-in-law uses excessive amounts of bathroom products, but I'm not allowed to say anything because apparently that makes me a creep. My partner's sister stays with us occasionally for prolonged periods of time, and already during the first visit a few years ago, I noticed how our supply of toilet paper declined very rapidly, but like insanely fast. A family pack usually lasts us many months, but I was already restocking toilet paper a second time in the first month she stayed with us. That's when I started noticing that this girl is going through more than a roll of toilet paper a day. And over time I started to notice this with more bathroom items. Soap, shampoo, toothpaste, bathroom cleaner. Whatever the two of us use in a month, she uses in a week by herself. So I decided to bring it up. It's not just about the cost to me. I also just find it incredibly wasteful to consume that much crap in a day. But instead of giving an explanation, I'm apparently a creep for keeping track of her toilet paper usage. Like, how am I not supposed to notice? I'm the one buying it. I'm the one restocking the bathroom. Of course I notice when I suddenly find that I'm having a hard time keeping up with demand. So I recently started changing the A-brand toilet products we were using for the cheapest store brands I can find whenever she's here. I'm fine with buying $10 luxury soaps if the bottle lasts several months. But not if that bottle lasts only a few days. But when my partner noticed, she says I'm showing disrespect for her sister by actively changing to cheaper brands. Apparently, let her buy her own soap then, is also not an acceptable answer. I genuinely wonder how a person can use such volumes of bathroom products. Every time she is here, it's a point of frustration for me when I notice the empty containers stack up next to the trash can. And the fact that when I bring it up I'm apparently a creep for even keeping track bothers me even more. Story number 2. Got my tip jar stolen and lost all faith in humanity. I, 23 female, work at a vape shop full-time. Yesterday I busted my butt on a 12-hour shift. Been getting good tips, which is great because I use the extra money for food throughout the week while I pay off student loans, bills, etc. About 45 minutes to closing time and a guy nabs my tip jar with $50+ while asking some bullcrap questions. Ashamed to say that I cried and screamed at him. But seriously, how do you steal tips from a minimum wage worker? I'm so embarrassed that a $50 loss really puts me in the hole, but it does. I'm done putting in the extra effort. I'm done. Freaking totaled. Denver is a crap hole and you should avoid it at all costs if you can. This place wants to stomp the good out of you. Story number 3. My dad told me why he resented me and I forgave him. My dad passed away 2 weeks ago from cancer. In the last few weeks of his life, he spent it in hospice surrounded by family. Me and my dad, we didn't have a warm relationship, or a relationship at all. Once I turned 18 and graduated, I moved away from everything, only keeping contact with my close friends, mom, and my siblings. Wanting to start anew, which I successfully did. The last time I spoke with my dad, when he wasn't sick, was when I had a pregnancy scare before I left for college. I was in my dad's truck. He was driving me to my doctor's appointment. He looked at me with a strange look, and told me I would be a terrible mother, and that he wishes that I wouldn't be pregnant because of that. I never told anyone this but my boyfriend. It stung that my dad would tell me that. It's something that I think of every day since then. When I got the phone call from my sister saying our dad was terminally ill, that everyone wanted me there to be there for him and them as well, I was hesitant at first, but I wanted to hear from him again. So I went home and surprised him. When I walked into that room, he held out his hand, which I took. He said he was sorry for everything, that he wished he treated me better. At this point I was crying, telling him I needed him and whatnot. I asked him why he treated me differently from my siblings. He told me I reminded of his mother, whom left the family for another, that I looked like her, talked like her, and acted like her, but I wouldn't be like a mother like her, that I'm kind and full of love, that he hated what he told me on that drive. I hugged him and accepted his apology. A day after I arrived, my dad peacefully went away in his sleep. After 10 years of wondering why, I finally got my answer. I keep thinking that we should have talked many years ago so that we could have had more time together. I'll miss my dad. Story number 4. I got my first job by lying about being scheduled for a shift. I live in a poor city where it's not uncommon for dozens of people to apply for a single dishwashing job. I practiced washing dishes at home and was able to wash them at an acceptable speed. I did not have any experience, and getting a job was very hard. I needed someone to give me that one chance. I got that chance by walking into a restaurant and telling the shift supervisor that I was a new hire and was scheduled for a trial shift. A lot of restaurants in my city hire on Craigslist. They have a revolving door of employees quitting and joining, but most of those job postings usually ask for some dishwashing experience. I looked on Craigslist and tried this trick on a restaurant with a job posting up. I went in and told them that I'm here for the trial shift. The shift supervisor asked me if I were Jeffrey. I said that I was Luke. The shift supervisor apologized for forgetting my name and put me on dishwashing duties. Luckily for me, Jeffrey did not show up. The supervisor got out her phone and I could see dozens of text messages on her phone, applying for that one dishwashing role. She asked me for my number and I told her that my new number is 000000000. I got the job and worked there for a couple of years. Damn, I'm a sleaze. Thankfully, I don't have to ever do that again. I ran a gardening franchise in the past and trained inexperienced people to work with me. I hope that atones for my dishonesty. Story number 5. I used to be a terrible person, and I owe everyone and everything an apology. This is not as serious as many posts here, but I used to be a pretty bad kid. I would harass people I deemed annoying, which many were. I would intentionally annoy and harass them because I thought it was funny and getting revenge on them. One time I kept saying some kid's name in a funny way, which I knew would make him cry, in 2nd grade. He was special needs and I didn't even realize it at the time. I would lie to my friends about having things happen to me and make up fake stories. I would make up situations to my friends that never happened to me just to seem cool and have a feeling of satisfaction. When I was 14, I knew there was some kid who had trauma happen to him, not by me, and I had mental issues happening at the time. Not an excuse. I purposely harassed this kid knowing that it would make him feel PTSD. I might have not wanted him to feel bad, but I don't know for sure. I used to lightly hit my brother until he raged, and then we got into fights from it. I would also be a hypocrite and do stupid things to him like take away his iPad, and then I would get really mad, for some reason, when he did something back. Now I look at my past self and think how bad I was. I apologize to my younger brother. I have no idea where the kid with disabilities is, and I don't think he even cares or remembers, but I would like to still apologize. To the kid with PTSD, I'm very sorry. I hope you're doing better and found good in life. Just wanted to get these off my chest. I hope I'm not irredeemable yet, and I even more hope that everyone I affected and everything is okay. Story number 6. I walked out on a guy in a bar and left him with a bill he couldn't pay. When I was out on my own in the city, this one guy approached me. He asked me if I wanted to go to a bar with him, and as I had no other plans, I agreed to come with him. When we were at the bar, he kept asking me how much money I had with me. I told him I had 10 euros, and he said he had that much too. We then ordered drinks. I noticed that he couldn't really hold a conversation and I got annoyed by that. He didn't understand my questions either, kept telling me the same things. He wanted a woman who was good and who he could go on walks with and to have children. He also kept showing me pictures of himself and his family, and that was basically our interaction. I eventually grew tired of this and grabbed my stuff, saying I was going to go to the bathroom. He kept following me into the ladies' room, and when I told him he couldn't come in, he waited outside. We then went back to the bar and he proceeded to pay the bill, asking me for money. I then faked a phone call and told him I had to go outside to talk. Then I just left and walked away, leaving him with a bill he probably couldn't pay. I was angry at him for wasting my time, also at myself for agreeing to come with him out of boredom. Looking back at it, I feel kinda crappy for doing that, but also think I would probably do it again if I was back in the situation. Any thoughts on that? Edit for clarification. He invited me for drinks. The drinks he paid for me was 1 Red Bull, and I took my belongings with me to the toilet because I don't leave my stuff with people I don't know, not because it was my plan to not come back. And I didn't feel obliged to pay because he had invited me in the first place, and I felt like it is a crappy move to invite someone and then to change your mind once drinks were served. Also during conversation I repeatedly told him that I felt like the conversation was going nowhere, and we were kinda cross-talking, which he did not pick up on anyways. What an interesting post to morally contemplate. What do you guys think about her leaving this man with the bill? I would like to know why he invited her out for drinks, and then waited until after they ordered to let her know she was on her own for her bill. That sounds really strange, but I would likely be a lot more forward with telling someone that I'm not interested. I feel morally torn on this post. Thank you for joining us for today's journey through the whispers of the web. Share your thoughts and suggestions for our next adventure. If you're not yet a part of our whispering community, click the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications to never miss out on another story. Join us next time as we uncover another enthralling tale from the web. Until our next whisper.